Another avalanche of apostasy is on its way.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this video. It's been a while and I've had so much stuff going on in the background. I was at the NAPC conference giving a speech on the Islamic dilemma, which I'm totally going to put down in the link below if I remember it, so you guys can actually watch it. It's coming close to 50,000 views now, which is amazing, so thank you everyone who has watched it. But today I actually want to start something new, or at least for those of you who didn't already kind of see this at the NAPC conference when I gave a talk about this particular topic, to everyone else this is new, and that is going to be the supposed miracles in the Qur'an. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, that's kind of a strange topic because isn't it already debunked? Is it already refuted? Haven't Christian apologists already dealt with this? The idea that in the Qur'an, in the Islamic faith, they have some way of showing that their religious text, that being the Qur'an, is divinely authored because it has these mathematical miracles in it. Now, as many of you know, we have had the guy himself, Ali Dawah, telling us that there are no scientific miracles in the Quran.
The reason I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was actually nonsense, not in total, but guess what? Allah led me to Islam. One of the reasons was because of the scientific miracles. And guess what? Did I leave Islam when this whole scientific miracle thing got debunked?
He made it very clear there are no scientific miracles. Great. Now, even though that nonsense still keeps rearing its ugly head every now and again, there's something else which I think a lot of us weren't prepared for, and it's kind of so dumb that you couldn't really prepare for it, but it's incredibly important we address it, and the reason why is because of things like this.
Today, we will show how the Quran is a miracle, not just in its message, but also in its pages, its lines, its words, and even in its letters.
This is a YouTube video. Now, I am kind of one of the slightly old school millennials. I don't go on the TikTok-y thing so much. But on YouTube, where I am familiar, we can see that you have videos like this that Muslim apologists make that have millions of views where they are claiming that they can show miracles in the Quran. Now, that's a big claim, right? That's a big claim. Does it have any truth to it? Absolutely not. In fact, it's kind of pitiful how bad this is. But millions of Muslims are reassured by this. Millions of Muslims have their faith bolstered, their iman strengthened, precisely because of content like this. Even though it's nonsense, even though it's silly, and in all honesty it's comedic, and we're going to see that soon, but it's actually something that, I mean, like, just look at this video. Like, it was it 8-9 months, it got 2 million views, so that's both modern and incredibly popular. And you look at the comments, and Muslims are like, Alhamdulillah, the Quran is miraculous. It has all these miracles in it. Okay, great. But does it, though? I'm going to go ahead and say hard no. And I want to make content that addresses this in a more sort of in-depth way, and way that's kind of more accessible to just grab the arguments and employ them. Because I actually had a da'i, before he called me a disgusting liar, if I remember right. Before he said that to me, he was trying to tell me that one of the reasons why he, as a da'i, believes in Islam is because the Quran is miraculous. It has miracles in it. It cannot be explained in any other way but other from God, so it must therefore be from God. And I've heard this before, and I actually made a video a long time ago where I kind of went into this a little bit, but I feel like I didn't do quite justice, and I've learned a lot since then. So I want to do kind of a series about this argument, because I think it's important as Christians we shut this down very quickly. Like I've said before, when we go for arguments, we're going for the person. We're not going for what is like the best argument or the most embarrassing argument or the easiest to employ arguments. That's not really what we should be focusing on, in my opinion. We should be focusing on what actually gets that person who's hearing the argument to actually genuinely doubt and reconsider their belief system. And because Muslims are emboldened by this very silly argument, it's important we go for it with both barrels. So what really is this argument? Like, if we just boil it down to its basics, what actually is it? It's really just this, that there are things in the Quran that cannot be explained by human endeavor. Like, humans came together to make this in a certain way, and whether that's things like patterns, or whether it's like occurrences, or secret codes, or, in my opinion, coincidences, or incredibly improbable outcomes, symmetry, alignment, justification, and you'll see what I mean by that in another video. Textual script, textual features, how something sounds, magical numbers. Okay, so all these things and more are commonly used as properties of the Quran that are supposedly miraculous. And Muslims will wax lyrical about this to get people to think, wow, this Quran has to be from God, because no way could the number 19, for example, appear in all these places. That's a real thing, by the way. But evidently, these are just terrible arguments. But the point is that I think as apologists, we don't do enough to acknowledge what they're saying. Although it's ridiculous, it is actually a source of comfort to many Muslims. And so we need to go through that and dismantle it. So, Lord willing, I'll be making some more videos following this up where I go into a lot of the stuff I've learned about this in depth, and hopefully you find it both incredibly funny, because it's hilarious. Like, I've never laughed so much in making videos and in like researching topics than I have for the mathematical miracle stuff. And the people I've shared it with, they find it hilarious as well. So I'm hoping you guys will enjoy, but also with a serious sense, because again, Muslims do actually believe this, and so it's important to give that the sincerity it demands, precisely because they take it seriously. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a quick video. I've made this video on a new setup, like a kind of different setup at least, so I'm hoping this works, and if it does, it's a little easier for me to make videos. One final point before I end this: looking into miracles in the Quran, mathematical miracles, or some other kind of miracle, secret codes, Gematria, whether it's ELS, whether it's all these kind of different fancy terms that I'll explain in subsequent videos. A lot of this actually also has a history in the Christian perspective and the Jewish perspective, rabbinic Jewish perspective. So as part of unpacking the Islamic point of view, we're also going to be looking at the Christian and Jewish point of view to show why these mathematical miracles don't work there, and so they don't work in Islam either. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.